you down.
TGIF.
Yeah. Right.
I was on TGIF.
And so welcome to The View. Let's start with this hot story of the week. The Angelina and Brad Pitt breakup.
They're devastated.
Has been a hot topic all week. There's an ongoing investigation, so we'll wait until the facts are in on that, because we're not ready to talk about that yet, because the FBI is looking into something there.
Yeah, they haven't launched an investigation yet.
Yeah, but this has been bugging me, this part. Why does the New York Post use this photo of Jennifer Aniston smiling? She broke up with Brad 11 years ago, is happily married to the gorgeous Justin Theroux. She's super rich and successful, right? Do they still think she's wallowing in her misery every day for the past 11 years? Hello?
No, I don't think people think that, but, you know, there's this saying, you lose them how you got them. And I think a lot of people remember that Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt hooked up while he was still married with Jennifer. And I think a lot of people have been rooting for their breakup for a long time because of karma.
Hey, yeah, don't they say?
That's what it is. And people are like, you know, she gets to have the last laugh. So anyone that's been wronged,
what goes around comes around.
She doesn't care.
She doesn't.
She doesn't care. She has her own money.
Cares, but other people care.
Yeah, that's the problem. Before reality shows, it was celebrities and their relationships and what magazines told us what was going on. Let me just say this. We don't know what's going on in that family.
That's right.
Yeah. We don't know what's happening behind closed doors or who did what to who and how and why. Leave them alone. Let them go through it by themselves.
Over the years, Jennifer Aniston, these are some of the tabloid headlines. I'm just going to read them.
Poor Jennifer.
Pregnant and alone.
Yeah.
I wish I could get that one. Obsessed with Angie. I can't stop loving Brad. Jennifer Aniston's worst date ever. Dumped after 21 days. I mean,
You don't think she's a little happy when she...
I have to say my first reaction when I heard about it was, what is her reaction going to be? But I just think, you know, they were kind of like this iconic Hollywood couple. They were supposed to stay together. She was supposed to make banana shakes for him every day. Wasn't that like in part of their vows? That was a part of their vows. I remember it. But I think we feel this sympathy for her because she's the woman scorned. And so we want her to have vengeance.
People felt they knew her because of being Rachel. Like she was in your living room and she was lovable.
Rachel?
Oh, that was the character she made on Friends?
Friends.
Yeah.
I'll be there for you.
Joy, the biggest television show other than Seinfeld. Really, Joy?
I never watched it. I'm not a
remember
sitcom
the
fan.
haircut? It was named after her. She's like really...
Oh, God, how did I forget that?
I had the Rachel.
You probably had the Rachel and didn't know you had the Rachel.
You know, she's always had that.
But I think people knew because she was like the girl every girl wanted to be friends with, and so people wanted to defend her honor on some level, in imaginary level.
Yeah.
But I think that's what it is.
It's casted like a Hollywood movie, you know, with what's her name? Angelina is like the villainess, you know. Even Mother Teresa didn't like her, you know. She changed bloods with Billy Bob Thornton, and then she became a UN ambassador, and then she became the great philanthropist. Everybody liked her again. Now will they hate her again, or are they going to like her again? What's going to happen next?
I hope they're not going to hate her again. I mean, the bottom line is, whenever a marriage fails and you have 6 children together, we should all be sad about that. You know, that's not a good thing. And I just think about, what about these kids? There are 6 of them.
That is.
And we know that she wants physical custody, sole physical custody. I mean, she wants all the kids to live with her. And Brad Pitt has been, he's their father. He's been a part of their lives.
People go through this every day. People go through this every day in the world. There are always people who are breaking up. It's everywhere, and it just so happens that they're really, really rich and have people following them with cameras. And otherwise, we need to be talking about the millions of other families who have a broken, you know, marriage and have to deal with kids on their own.
But aren't you saddened by it?
No, because it's none of my business.
Okay.
It's not my business. I'm sorry, they didn't give me any money.
Neither is Rachel's hairdo, okay?
Well, I think the reason it is resonating with people is they feel like because it played out in the media, right or wrong, they are attached to the storyline. And each time there was an adoption, everyone got on board. And then when they had their twins, and so I think people felt like they took the ride with them, so they're feeling personally hurt by it. And also, you always want to believe in things, whether it's marriage or anything else good in this world, like the Tooth Fairy.
And I think there's probably the Tooth Fairy does exist, by the way, and apparently brings $20 every time your child loses a tooth.
It's 20 now?
Yes, my kids are gouging me. My kids are gouging me. No, but I also think that there's probably a small contingent of people that still want, you know, Brad and Jennifer to get back together.
She's good. She's got a
there's a lawyer involved. So Jolie has hired high-powered attorney Laura Wasser, who says that she tells clients to treat marriage and divorce like a business transaction. Isn't that romantic? Do you agree with that?
Can I just say one thing? Marriage started as a business agreement. Before legal systems and international economics, noble and ruling classes used marriage to create diplomatic and commercial ties. Give me 3 goats and you can have, you know, my daughter. That's how it started off, and then people started putting more and more and more onto it. I was told at a very young age, maybe because of the company and the business I'm in, but you never marry anyone that you don't trust your money with, and even then you got to make sure you have things involved so that they don't take it later, to the best of your ability.
It's always better when you don't have any money. When I got divorced, nobody had money. It's better in a way. It is. It really is. There's fighting about the money.
It's easier. There's usually fighting about the money, but Angelina and Brad are not fighting about the money, which is really interesting. But I hope that people don't go into a marriage thinking that it's just a business arrangement, because that will never get you through the trials and tribulations. No, marriage and divorce, and that will never get you through the trials that you go through every day in a marriage.
I think the marriage should not be treated necessarily solely as a business, although it should be factored in. I do think divorce should be treated as a business, and I think it's much easier said than done. It gets acrimonious when everyone makes emotional decisions in it, and sometimes they can't even separate themselves enough to protect the kids first. Don't laugh at my big word. I know you're laughing.
No,
I said acrimonious.
She's turning it around. No, I want to leave it on a good note and say happy 16th anniversary to my husband today. So one good marriage story. I don't want to talk about, divorce and doom and gloom.
It's more than a business arrangement, right?
Well, some things are a business arrangement, but it's not getting married.
There's such a thing as the 16-year itch. Have you ever heard of it?
No.
Kidding. We'll be right back with more Hot Topics.
A View exclusive. She watched her brother.
The Terence Crutcher, I determined that the filing of the felony crime of manslaughter in the first degree against Tulsa police officer Betty Shelby is warranted.
Well, that was the Tulsa County District Attorney delivering the news that Officer Betty Shelby will be charged with manslaughter for fatally shooting Terence Crutcher. He was unarmed with his hands in the air moments before the tragedy. All this came just a month after he celebrated his 40th birthday with his twin sister, Dr. Tiffany Crutcher, who joins us now from Tulsa with her attorney, Demario Solomon Simmons. And let me first start by sending our condolences to you and your family for the tragic loss of your brother. And Dr. Crutcher, you're very welcome. Dr. Crutcher, let's talk about this latest development in your brother's case, because Officer Shelby has now been charged with first-degree manslaughter, charges that your family asked for. How do you feel about this?
Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm totally elated by the first step, because that's all this is. It's just the first step. We have a long way to go. But this is what we asked for. I'm grateful to the TPD, the DA, the city, everyone who's been rallying around us to make sure that they're transparent and press these charges based on what the whole entire country and world has saw from that gruesome video. So my family, we're excited.
Counselor, what do you think the probability is that Officer Shelby will be found guilty?
Well, again, thanks for having us on. I think the probability hopefully is high, because I believe we will see a vigorous prosecution, and I believe that the charge was appropriate. Sonny, as a former prosecutor, understands that in many cases, prosecutors overcharge black, brown, and poor people in an attempt to get some type of a plea deal because they don't have resources to fight the charges. Well, this is not the case. Officer Shelby will have resources, and I'm happy that the DA filed the charges he did. They are serious. They are a felony, and it's a minimum of 4 years, but it's up to life. And we're calling upon District Attorney Steve Kunzweiler to provide a vigorous prosecution. And we believe if that occurs, that there will be an appropriate conviction and sentencing.
And Tiffany, this is Sarah. Where were you when you got the news that your brother had been fatally shot?
I was actually having dinner. I currently reside in Montgomery, Alabama. I had just ordered my food, and I received a call saying that you need to call home. I hear that your brother has been shot and killed, but I'm not sure. And I immediately left the restaurant and just drove around and waited to hear from my dad. And I said, look, if I hadn't heard from my dad, it's not true. And at that point, I realized that my parents had not heard. 45 minutes went by, and I prayed and prayed and prayed. And then I got that call from my dad. He was hysterical and belligerent and told me that the police shot Terence, and after that I lost it. And
Dr. Crutcher, this is Raven. Hi. One of the officers in the helicopter overhead said that your brother looked like a bad dude. As his twin sister, was he a bad dude or was he just black?
I believe that my brother was prejudged by that officer in the helicopter. He knew nothing about my brother. I'm not even sure why a helicopter was there versus a tow truck. That's what I'm trying to understand. He didn't do anything wrong. His car was stalled. He had just left Tulsa Community College, speaking with professors there. I got a call from the professors. They were the last ones to speak with him about 7:15, and they gave me a call. and said he was excited about class, and we found out that they canceled his class because there was not enough enrollment. And I just feel if that class hadn't got canceled, my brother would still be here today. But nevertheless, his vehicle stalled, and helicopters and police and everybody was there like this was the New York bomber. I don't get it. And people are saying he should have complied, but what did he do wrong to comply, Raven? What did he do wrong? Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out.
Dr. Crutcher, let me ask you this. According to, excuse me one second, according to police on the scene, your brother ignored more than 24 commands. Do you believe that's the truth? Do you think he would have behaved that way?
Can you repeat that question?
Yes. According to police on the scene, your brother ignored more than 24 commands. Do you think that that's true?
That's their side of it, and I just don't believe that. And one thing that people don't know about my brother has a very severe hearing issue in his right ear and prosthetic eye. And I know my brother was scared, and people don't know that because all they know is that he's a bad dude, but my brother was disabled, and he was just trying to get his life together. So I can't say that that's true. I was not there at the scene. But, you know, these things tend to be scripted, case after case after case. He didn't comply, they didn't comply. But the video tells it all. The video tells it all. His hands were up, and that's what we are fighting right there. The fact that everybody saw my brother's hands up, and at that moment there was no need to execute him at all.
And I think that's a very important point here, that the video tells us what actually occurred. And we don't have to have conjecture and speculation. We can look and see on the video that the unjustified shooting was simply wrong. And that's why this fight is, as Dr. Crutcher has said so many times, it's bigger than just Terence. We're trying to legitimize and legalize being black in America. Because right now, that is a crime in and of itself, when you sound somebody and call them a bad dude.
Tiffany, this is Paul. I know you said that your brother was flawed, but he was in church every Sunday, and I have to imagine it must be so infuriating, hurtful, just because right now they're trying to bring your brother's alleged drug use into the narrative. It's got to be so hurtful knowing that at the time of the fatal shooting, the police officers had no idea of his past. They had no idea of what was in the car. So how infuriating is this narrative for your family?
Can I say something?
Let her answer first, please.
I just think that question is irrelevant. I think that it's odd that every time there's a black dead person, that person has to submit to a background check in order to prove that they don't deserve to be dead.
And it is not a fair...
I think that we need to ask questions about criminal records or alleged drug abuse. I just think it's irrelevant.
I agree. I think a lot of people think it's irrelevant. It should be irrelevant, but this is a narrative that's out there, and why it's really unfair to your family. How frustrating is it for you to have to address this narrative?
Well, I think it's a narrative that the media has to take the responsibility to stop from being out there. The media should stop those questions and those unnecessary discussions. We say, hey, this is a video that shows a man complying. A video shows a man without a weapon. A video shows the officers are not in any danger. Anything outside of that is a false narrative, and we call upon the media to help heal this country from false narratives and put the truth out so we can come together as one nation and be the strong people we can be, and the media has a big role to play in that.
Great. We here at The View have heard you, and we are not going to continue that narrative. So our thanks to Dr. Tiffany Crutcher and her attorney, Demario Solomon-Simmons. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll be right back.
Still ahead, Oscar winner Gina Davis reveals her real-life Thelma and Louise moment that changed her life.
People are complaining that Hillary Clinton is too buttoned up and stiff. And, you know, in this thing I'm going to show you, it's called Between Two Ferns with the Galifianakis does it. You know that show? I love that. I want to show you another side of her. Watch.
First, you supported Obama's Trans-Pacific Partnership deal, and then you were against it. I think that people deserve to know, are you down with TPP?
I'm not down with TPP.
No, you're supposed to say, yeah, you know me. Like the hip-hop group.
Don't tell me what to say.
When you went to Donald Trump's wedding, did he write his own vows? And did Michelle Obama write Melania's?
Not quite sure what his vows were, but I'm sure they were great and huge and wonderful.
We should stay in touch. What's the best way to reach you? Email?
You've got mail.
So apparently, everybody should know that this was 90% improvised. That was not scripted for her. So she's going to be good in the debates, I think, because she's calm and she's got a sense of humor. A dry one, but it's there.
But I liked it because, you know, they always try to write jokes in, and sometimes it's hard to deliver someone else's joke because there's something missing there. But she actually was funny to me, playing it straight the whole time.
Yeah,
the one thing I leaned over to DeJoy during that, and I said, "Are you down with TPP?" She doesn't get the "you know me." So if I said you're down with OPP, you wouldn't know "you know me."
What? Were you outing me as old?
No, I'm just saying you don't know the song.
You would have been actually the right age bracket when that song came out. You'd have been just on the curve of that's cool.
Whatever. I'm learning as I go along.
You know, Obama did the same thing, this Between the Ferns, and I just think his timing is so incredible that he was funnier in a sense, but she did well considering that it wasn't scripted, and it seemed like no topic was off limits.
He didn't improv his, though. That's the better part. His was vetted. His was vetted a little bit, so he knew what to expect, and if you overthink a joke, sometimes it's not as funny.
How do you think Donald would do in that situation?
Poorly.
That would never happen. He would never go on that show.
They haven't asked, and he hasn't gone on. But I think, you know, I've said this for a long time, ever since, you know, Secretary Clinton, when Hillary came onto our show, I think her people are doing her a disservice by, you know, really confining her and kind of scripting things, because she's funny. When she was herself and she sat at this table, I found her to be much more warm than she typically is in some of the environments that they set her up in.
Many times I told her to lose the monochromatic pantsuits one time. She thought that was so fun, funny. She's very, very fun. You know, by the way, you know, I just thought of something. How is that Galifianakis? How do you say
Galifianakis.
Whatever. How is it that he gets away with making her look good, and poor Jimmy Fallon's getting hit with all sorts of criticism for making Donald Trump look good? Why is one comedian getting away with it and the other one is not? I just thought of that.
But sometimes late night television, you expect what you saw from Letterman, which was some hard-hitting interviews. And so if you have Donald Trump there sitting, you wonder why he may be
style. Fallon's a lifter. His humor is usually not at someone else's expense. So he's a lighter. I wouldn't want Jimmy to not do him, and that's him.
And Zach Galifianakis is already like a dark comedian. Like, you know, the show that he has
opportunity.
He's like, whatever.
And then, you know, the other thing is Donald Trump says he doesn't want the debate moderators to do fact-checking. He wants Hillary to fact-check him, and he will fact-check her.
I agree with that.
Everybody thinks they both lie, so how are they going to fact-check each other?
But I think it's a debate, though. It's different.
I mean, really, you need an objective fact-checker in the moment.
You need a referee, though. You need a referee, but the referee shouldn't be giving you 5 yards and taking 10 yards. I think it's different if you're in an interview. Absolutely, you challenge them, and you have to challenge the person that you're interviewing. But in this situation, it's one-on-one. And Donald Trump needs to know where to challenge Hillary. She needs to know where to challenge him, because that's what a debate is about. It's one-on-one, and the moderator should only be there to blow the whistle.
We are in a different type of political climate, right? So when you have somebody between these two, you have someone who knows how to overtalk the other person and the referee, you're going to need someone to be like, Hillary she can't Google when she's on the stage. No. Somebody else is going to have to Google for her.
The PolitiFact should be doing. The other thing is, he's asking Roger Ailes to help him with this. That really will help with the female vote. And who knows better about women than Roger Ailes? We'll be right back.
Did you hear?
Welcome back. A special anniversary edition of the animated classic Beauty and the Beast just came out on DVD, Blu-ray, and thanks to our parent company, Disney, members of our audience are getting a copy.
You guys act like you never got a gift before. Oh, my God. Okay, so I promoted Madonna, but the audience doesn't really want to talk about Madonna, even though internet trolls have been telling Madonna to act her age because so what she did, she posted pictures of herself naked on Instagram.
With a caption,
half naked, sorry.
With the caption, still acting my age. How do I know I'm still acting my age? Because it's my age and it's my life, and all of you women-hating bigots need to sit down and try to understand why you feel the need to limit me in the fear of what you are familiar with. You know what happens to bigots? Nothing. Nothing happens to people who think in a limited way. So she posted that with that.
And the pictures of her, she looks really awesome. She looks really great. Madonna is 58, and her body is incredible. And so who's to say, if you look like that, why can't you post a picture of your very muscular back?
Would you rather her like crunched over and not taking care of her body and looking? No, but I'm just saying.
Bring it to 8 or 45 or 85.
You said it, not me.
Oh my God, she's
58.
She's 58, but that's what I'm saying. Like, what does a 58-year-old look like? What does that look like?
If you're Madonna, you look like that. Most 58-year-old people do not look like her.
Yes, they do. There's some women out there who do, and there's some women that look totally different. It just depends on how you take care of yourself.
I think it's different if you say it in the context of act your age. I don't care what you wear. Like, I wish I could wear Garanimals, okay? But
that's where you're going to go with that option?
I'm going to go with that option because to mix and match, yes.
Yeah,
if they had adult Garanimals. Yeah, but you still have them?
What are you talking about? I have little things with little anime on them.
Okay, so
anyway, my point is the only time I would say act your age is if you see a mom that's trying to dress like her teenage daughter and trying to be her teenage daughter's best friend. But otherwise, in any other context, I don't care. Wear whatever you want.
Was sick and she could dress that way.
Well, because like at that point, you know, you're not supposed to. You're not there. You're there to be your child's parent. You're not necessarily there to be your child's friend.
We never say that about men. I often like look at let's say Harrison Ford, who's you know gets all these. Well, because he is older than 58, yet he's cast against women that are half of his age, and no one would ever say act your own age.
But he's not posing in a Speedo, okay?
We may not say act your age. We may not say act your age about women. Well, we say that about Harrison Ford, but how many times have you had a conversation with women that describe their husbands, and you're like, oh, they act like boys. Like, we do expect something different personally, from men, because there are a lot of gaming husbands out there. You know who you are, that sit on those little things and like.
First of all, do not come for Xbox or PlayStation.
Gamers, they're not kids, they're husbands, they're grown men.
Everybody needs a little Halo now and then. Let's not start saying.
I don't want to offend the gamers out there. But when people say to me, act my age, I like to quote the philosophers, Blink-182. What's my age again?
I don't even know that. I love that.
I don't know. Maybe when you're
it's 8.
Maybe when you're on Lipitor, you should lose the bustier. Right back.
Hi guys, listen, I've been in some horror movies, but what's really scary is having 5 talk show hosts fire questions at you. I'm afraid. I'm very afraid.
The Exorcist is considered the scariest movie of all time. It really is. And now Oscar winner Gina Davis is bringing the thrills and chills to your TV in a reimagining of the horror classic. So please say hello to the beautiful Gina Davis. Before we talk about The Exorcist, I want to ask you about Madonna. You know, because we were just talking about her. And you're a movie star, she's a movie star. What do you think about posing in half naked at 58 years old?
I agree with what she said. Yeah. Absolutely.
Which is? Would you do it?
We're doing it. I'm 60. Should I start posing nude?
You look great.
Why not?
You look like this.
Would you do it, Tina? Would you do it?
Yeah, sure.
So I love that you are confident enough to even think about it, but that's who you are as an actress. You have been the epitome of girl power forever. And, you know, movies like Thelma and Louise. That's who you have embodied throughout your career. When did you know that it was okay for you to be a strong female character on and off set?
Well, actually, Thelma and Louise had a huge impact on my life, being in that movie. It's really fun, actually, to be in a cultural landmark. It's like, yes, well, I did that. But it was making that movie that was very life-changing for me. And it was working with Susan Sarandon, who, so when we were starting the movie, we both were cast, and Ridley wanted to have a meeting with Susan and I. Ridley Scott, yes, Ridley. And go through the script. And so I went through the script, I had a few ideas, but I planned ahead of time the girly way that I was going to present each one of these ideas, like, you know, well, maybe I'm wrong, you know, like we do, you know, sell out ourselves so nobody will be offended. You know, I don't want them to think, you know, that I'm pushy or anything. And so I had this all planned, and we sit down, and I'm starstruck by meeting Susan. And I think it was like on page 1 that she says, you know, this line, I don't think I should say that line. Or maybe we could put it on page 3. And I was like, people can talk like that? You can just say what you, I mean, I was really far gone. You could actually say what you think, and then I'm looking at him to see if he freaks out.
What did he do?
He's like, oh, that's good. Well, yeah, maybe we could do that, or maybe not, or whatever. But I'm just like, watching this
we all look up to you because
directors would like that.
Yeah. Well, but we all look up to you for you know, not only your powerful portrayals of women, but also the Gina Davis Institute on Gender in Media, which is phenomenal. So you can give her a hand, yeah. So with what's interesting about the Institute is that it conducts research and education in order to seriously improve gender balance in children's entertainment. So smart. You've partnered with Google and just launched something really, really cool. Can you tell us all about it?
Yes. I've been doing this about 10 years, and we have sponsored the most research ever done on like children's entertainment. But now Google gave us a grant to develop software. It's taken 2 years to develop software to do the research. And so it has face recognition and voice recognition, and it can not only tell you how many female characters there are and how long they're on screen, but how much do they talk? Are they on screen when they talk? Which is very interesting that they found women, even when they're there, they talk about a third as much as men, and when they talk, they're not always on screen. They're only on screen about half the time. So they're cutting to the male character while the female is talking. But when the man is talking, he's on screen.
Those are male directors?
Wow.
Well, primarily.
Followed by Joy Behar. But we also wanted to talk to you about your new show, The Exorcist. I'm a big fan, but it isn't the same story.
Right.
So can you tell us a little bit about how it's different?
Well, yes. So the movie is the classic scary movie of all time.
I still can't sleep in the middle of the bed because of that movie. Ms. Davis, I can't do it. So just help me out, please. I want to see the show, but I'm scared.
And it is scary and creepy. I saw it, and I was terrified. The bird scene.
I can't do birds.
So the show acknowledges that those events took place in this world, but it was 40 whatever years ago. But now, something's happening again to my family. I'm the mother of 2 adult daughters, and one of them is. Something might be going on. It's very scary.
Even though it's a script, and we all know it's, motion picture make-believe, but, like, do you get scared when you go home?
Yeah, do you sleep well?
Yeah,
do you sleep in the middle of the bed?
No.
That's what Raven really wants to know.
I can't sleep in the middle of the bed because of that movie.
Because she was in the middle of the bed?
I think I'm going to get exorcismtized when I'm in the middle of the bed.
That's a word.
It's a scary film, and we'll watch the next rendition.
The show is, people will not be disappointed in it.
And it's shot beautifully. The cinematography is gorgeous. You have to see this. Yeah, and I don't like scary
green vomit again.
Or scary movies, but it's wonderful.
We'll have to see if there's any.
It's in Technicolor.
Green vomit.
The bird scene.
Thank you so much, Gina, for dropping by. Good luck with the project. The Exorcist premieres tonight. Check your local listings for information on the Gina Davis Institute on Gender and Media. Go to our website.
And thanks to our sponsor, Wyndham Rewards. Paula is blindfolded in the win booth today, which is full of numbers that represent our studio audience, and she's about to pick a winner. Paula, are you ready?
Don't show the number ahead of time.
Don't show the number ahead of time, said Joy.
Okay, there's no ventilation in here.
That goes for 9 seconds. Is it in your... Can I take this off? No. Okay. She saw the number. What is your name? Winner's right here. Come here. What is your name? What is your name and where are you from? Okay. We got. My name is Abby. Congratulations. We want to show you where you're going. So you're going to the Viva Wyndham Heavens in the Dominican Republic. We're giving away 2 more trips on Monday. Tune in to see which audience member gets one, and viewers at home need to visit our website by midnight Eastern Sunday to see how to enter for a chance to win Monday's vacay.
All right, have a great day, everyone. Take a little time. Do this part. Have a great day. Have a great day.
Enjoy your view.